Welcome back to Skyrider Limited. I am Jesse. I'm standing in a park again, my favorite park in Essex here, and that means it's time for another kite bag tour. If you can believe it, today we are going to finish going through the main bag of my kite collection, the stuff that I fly regularly, as it is at this time. If I swap things out and add new kites, obviously I will do new main bag tours. But after this one, you're going to start seeing more and more from the collection from history because we'll have gone through all the new stuff. Now, I will confess there is one kite that I have on order and a couple more that I have sort of spoken word orders for that are not officially released yet. And you'll see those when they come out and when they arrive. But for today, we're going to go through the last 5 kites out of my main bag from 3 manufacturers that I have quite a few kites in the collection from now. And I think we should just dive right into that. So hang tight, and I'm going to go get a kite. So today's theme is accidentally ultralights. And we start with one of my favorite ultralights that I've flown in the last couple of years. A kite that, candidly, I think might be better than its standard counterpart. At least I fly it better. And that is the Supernova by Tim Benson and Chris Goff. So, Supernova Ultralight in the red wingtip colorway. God, what do I say about this kite? It's so funny. It's such a willing Jacob's ladder, and I find it friendlier than the standard. Easier to get along with, easier to do my sort of core trick set without. I think I've said it before, and probably in the video where I talked about the standard. The standard is a very, very, very capable kite. It is exceedingly demanding, that it wants the input it wants. If you do it correctly, it will do it. If you don't, it scolds you. This kite doesn't scold as hard. It doesn't scold as hard. I've been flying on and off for 30 years, so I started before a lot of the second wave tricks. I remember when the axle was the hot trick, and I learned an axle, and then we started doing fades, and on and on and on. The tricks progressed. As a result, my inputs are not always perfect because I took breaks when big developments happened, and that caused some gaps in my progression, for sure. So kites that are really demanding, sometimes for me, I find frustrating. I also find them great teachers, but the Supernova standard is sort of a disciplinarian, and this kite just looks mildly disapprovingly, which I appreciate. It feels more friendly, faster, if that makes sense. It's a wonderful kite, and it's made with Tim's usual precision. I mean, kite's been around for a long time, and I don't really know what to add that hasn't been said about this thing. If you're looking for a boutique-built sport kite from one of the longer-running names, you really can't go wrong with a Benson, and you really can't go wrong with the Supernova, or if you get along with small kites, its baby brother, the Superfly. Chris's designs are wonderful, and I think the Superfly just passed 10 years old, which is pretty incredible for a design to be out and still right on the leading edge of things for 10 years. So the Supernova UL, definitely one of my favorites. And hang tight, I'm going to go get another kite. So from the UK, we move east to Hungary and back to Mugen Kites. previous video, you saw 5 of the 7 Mugen Kites in my collection. The 2 that were missing were on loan to a friend, and they have since made their way home, and they are the Ninth Wonder and Ninth Wonder UL. So this is the standard Ninth Wonder. These were ordered, so the standard was ordered with the Mobiuses, and you've seen this kite in shorts previously. This might be my favorite 3/4 kite right now. So a note on the frame, it's beefy. It's a nitro strong spreader and leading edge, and I believe it's a 7 PT spine. This kite is on my favorites list right now for the simple reason that it does double TAS machines like it's its job. It spins like a top, and it is the easiest TAS machine of any kite I've ever flown. TAS is a trick that I struggled with for a while to learn. I still can't say that I can do it on every kite, but the 111 from level 1, which you saw in a previous video, taught me where it was. This kite made it fun. You can just float it out and pop it, and it just spins. And if you take a couple steps at it, triples are not unheard of. It's just so good at rotational. Some weird behavior in pitch, but not to be unexpected with a kite that rotates as well as it does. Something has to give. Everything's a balancing equation. And that is to say, its pitch behavior is not a problem. You just have to learn its behavior, and it just takes a half second to get it to settle. Once it settles, it Jacob's ladders just as well as any other kite I have, and yo-yos pretty willingly. Yeah, it's a great freestyle kite. It's a lot of fun to fly. I really, every time I put it out, I go, oh yeah, this is why I like this thing. And after I got this one, Gabor at Mugen finished the Ultralight, and I immediately added that kite too. And I confess I haven't had as many opportunities to fly the Ultralight, but it is just as fun, just lighter. So why don't you hang tight, and I'm going to go grab the Ultralight, actually, and you can get a look at that one, too. Right. Ultralight Ninth Wonder. Ta-da. Much like the Mobiuses, basically same color, just white and black flipped. Just lighter frame. Nitro lights instead of Nitro Strongs. God, I really can't say much more about how much I like this kite right now. It is one of the more enjoyable things I've flown that I own, and one of the things. So here's the thing with the Mugen Kites. Every one of them I have bought by a YouTube video and pictures and a couple of messages back and forth with Gabor. I have never flown one of these prior to buying. Actually, come to think of it, there are very few kites I've flown prior to buying. The Ultim, I flew a Sky Shark version and bought the Arrow stuff, so I kind of flew that before buying it. And the kite that I've got on order that will be here sometime in June, I think, I flew at Kite Party before ordering. That's pretty much it in the last 2.5 years for kites I flew before buying, which, in hindsight, seems somewhat reckless, but I've gotten pretty lucky so far, or people are building really good kites. I'm content for it to be both. I think it is both. I think people are building some really good kites right now, and I'm getting very lucky a lot. I haven't bought anything that made me go, ooh, that's got to go. I bought a couple of kites that I went, this is going to take some work to figure out. I think there's a few I've talked about stuff that I went, this is going to take to figure out. Figuring out the framing with my Fury set took a little bit of doing, even though Carl provided me really good instructions. the instructions were written for tubes that existed 10 years ago, and things can change quite a lot in 10 years. So that took some figuring, but I haven't flown anything that I went, oops, shouldn't have bought that, which I've been, like I said, very lucky about. And like I said, this kite's no exception. Gabor's workmanship is absolutely top. I've spoken about it before, but one of the things I love about his stuff, such a weird detail. I don't think I've seen anyone else do it, but it's so impressive. I'm going to walk this really close to the camera, and hopefully you can see it. That is not a tied loop on that bridle. That is sewn. He sews the loops on his bridle. Every connection point at the toe point is sewn. I've seen him do it on Instagram. He has a sort of jig form that holds it in place for him, but it is still so meticulous and so impressive. And, you know, panel cuts and layouts are beautiful. You know, even the little details like where he starts and ends on his stitches are really nicely done. I'm actually going to turn the kite over and bring this close to the camera because this one right here is a great illustration. That seam, I don't know if you can see it right by my index finger here, is just perfectly, like, all three stitches join within 0.5 millimeter in that panel, and there's another one on the other side that's just as good. It's just beautiful work, and they fly super, super nice. I don't think I necessarily do them justice, to be honest, but if you want to go see some really good video of this kite, highly, highly encourage you to go check out Icky TV's video for the Ninth Wonder, and you get a real sense of just what this thing is capable of. With that in mind, I think it is time to move on to another one of my favorite ultralights. So if you stay right there, I'm going to go get a kite from the U.S. this time. Continuing to circle the globe, we've now made our way back to Iowa and Wisconsin with Canvas and with everybody's favorite Sour Patch Kid in kite form, the ultralight version of the backstabber itself, the Crux. So Canvas builds amazing kites. They are so well designed. Devin is so good at what he does. John is so good at what he does, and together, the stuff that they do is just some of the best kites to come out in a very, very long time. Because of where they live, frequently their ultralights are almost better than the standards and wildly capable as ultralights. The bottom end of the wind range would almost touch into SUL. They did an SUL for the Spur. If you watched the lineup tour video with Devin, you saw that there is an SUL Crux and an SUL Intention in the works. Once or twice I've said to them, that's super cool. Why? Because the UL is so capable. It gets down almost as low as an SUL, which means those SULs are almost indoor kites, which is wild too. And once or twice we've actually talked about, boy, wouldn't an indoor Crux be fun? And it would. It really would. So the Crux, the enabler, the how the hell did that happen? Do it again. Do it again. All the stuff that's there in the standard, just in flies to 2 miles an hour and or under. P200 spine, 5 PT spreaders, I believe. 3 PT spreaders. Yeah, it's light. It's light. It's still as bouncy as the standard. It just does all the stuff and scratches the itches, and then stabs you in the back. It stabs you in the back. It's Crux. It stabs you in the back, but it hugs you first. It's like, you know, oh, we're friends. Stab, stab, stab. But it's good. I love it. It's great. I sell this so poorly, but really, it's a Sour Patch Kid. It's sweet, then it's sour, then it's sweet again. It's great. Crux. I love it. staying in Canvas land here. We're going to move on to the last of the red kites that you haven't seen. So you saw the standard very early on in these. I think it was in the first video. Well, here's the Ultralight Intention. So this and the standard were the first two new kites I bought when I started flying again during COVID. Boy, oh boy. This is a good kite. It is good in its stock form. It is good in the slight tweak that mine has, which we'll talk about in a second here. It's good. It's light and responsive and behaves well, and it's big, which we've sort of established. Jesse likes a full-size wing. Leftovers of being a team flyer for so long, I think, maybe. But it's precise and capable. Yeah, I can't say enough. And as usual, John's workmanship is amazing. This one is a super early kite. Not that he hadn't been making kites for a bit at the start of Canvas, but this sail is number 10 of the Intentions. My standard is number 9. And yeah, just really good. So I said in stock form, so I can tell you very candidly, Devin has been screwing around with a comp frame for this kite, and it started from an idea to experiment with some sticks that don't quite exist anymore that they came into possession of. I think 4 of us have these spreaders and played with them. And if you can get your hands on a set, this is my favorite version of this kite. So this kite has Avia Betweeny lower spreaders. So Avia Composites has been gone for quite a while. The closest thing to the G-Force line are the Nitros. The Skinnies and the Betweeny, and I think they're still making the Betweeny, are still being made by Goodwin Composites, and so technically you could get a set of these sticks and do it. The stiffer stick just I feel like it helps the wing hold shape a little bit and just extends the range of the kite really well. I really enjoy it this way, and it's one of my first grab ultralights, if not my first grab ultralight. Yeah, I don't know what else to say that I didn't say about it, the standard in the first video, but there it is. And yeah, I know a lot of people will buy like an ultralight this and a standard that, and I'm a big fan of buying the set. If you want to fly an intention, whatever the wind is doing, have an intention that flies in it. If you don't want to fly an intention that day, that's okay. This is how I manage my ADD. I go to the park. Oh, it's vent wind. Which vent do I fly? I'm in an ultim mood. I'm in an intention mood. Kite coming soon. I'm in a fury mood, and so I have that vent in there. Oh, there's no wind. I need an SUL. Which SUL do I fly? Crux coming soon. Spur. SUL Fury. I have a few options, and I can choose, and it's okay that there's overlap. Having kites to suit your mood, not just the wind, is always a good thing. I also, as you probably noticed, it's a pretty diverse set of kites so far, and it's only going to get weirder and more diverse from here. I got lucky on eBay, and I will show you those probably in the next video or two. But the diversity is what helps me grow as a flyer, I think. Instead of learning how one kite does it, I learn how to do it on a bunch of kites. Tricks in general, flying in general. And that diversity helps develop a well-rounded skill set, not just a focus on one kite skill set. So fly a lot of kites. Fly other people's kites. Go to a kite festival and try stuff. If somebody's got a kite ask. The worst thing is they say is no. But fly other people's kites too. It's fun, and try not to break them. But like, you can learn a lot by flying other people's kites and the way other people maybe set up their kite. And ask them, hey, is there something different about this kite? It doesn't hurt. Ask questions, fly kites. I hope you enjoyed the tour of my main set and the couple of vintage tours, and the stuff that's going to come is going to look a lot more like the vintage tours, with periodically some new stuff popping up here and there. So thank you for watching and subscribing and liking, and we'll see you out there, Skyrider.